Om Swastiastu. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So, in this video, we're going to talk about our arguments, and the statement is running universal basic income in Indonesia. Before we start it, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Gede, Nanda Paramita, and my partner is Putu, Inten, Leoni. So, without any further ado, let's get started.
Well, talking about universal basic income, I think it is such a good thing if it is run in Indonesia, because it can be a great solution for all of the economics problem in Indonesia. So the purpose of giving this money to the society is to fulfill the society's basic needs. So referring to Abraham Maslow's theory, anyone cannot do self-actualization if the basic needs haven't been properly fulfilled. It is impossible for people to think of their future plans if they don't know whether they can eat or not for today. The presence of UBI provides a solution to these problems. UBI is the main program to cover the basic needs of individuals, so these individuals are able to increase their basic needs and self-actualize.
Universal basic income in Indonesia would never getting a place in my thoughts. We should pay attention that Indonesia is a developing country with the fourth most populous country in the world. Universal basic income or UBI would be just that, universal. That means everyone, regardless of how much they poor or rich, they would get the same amount of money. And isn't necessary to give the same amount of money to billionaires as those who born into poverty? Obviously not. And also, if people get money without doing anything, it may encourage them to be lazy. Some people may choose to work part-time instead of full-time. And if it's happened, then the economy would suffer. The UBI has the potential to decrease the growth of the economy. It named GDP growth. Based on analysis, the amount of UBI that can be given to people, to each individuals, is approximately 2 million rupiah. And if UBI is implemented, then government should spend over 55 trillion rupiah every month, or 669 trillion rupiah annually. That's almost 1/3 of national state budget Indonesia in 2017. And that's make it very impossible to Indonesia to do universal basic income. And also UBI is quite expensive from public spending perspective.
While you might say that universal basic income would have a negative impact to the growth of the economy in Indonesia because of Indonesia is a developing country, but I definitely think that many people in Indonesia have a potential or business plan in the future, but they don't have any enough capital to run their business. So UBI can become a brilliant solution to these problems. With UBI, the societies don't need to compete in seeking any job vacancies, but they can improve the socio-economic independence by creating a lot of new job vacancies for other people. They can start a business, invest, and others, so the economy will grow better. Sony Mumbunan, as the founder of Basic Income Lab in CSIS, expressed several arguments that support this idea. He said that most of Indonesian people fall into the category of poor, near poor, and economically vulnerable. Besides of that, the implementation of UBI is easy to implement, effective, and difficult to corrupt. In addition, the economy decreased dramatically since the spread of the coronavirus or COVID-19. Many workers laid off, so the total number of the unemployment increased. So, universal basic income can become a great solution in facing these pandemic situations.
I disagree with that statement. Universal basic income is economically bankrupt policy. In theory, it spikes price inflation, costs too much, and eliminates the incentive to work. A new study from Finland has proven the theory behind this. Finland gave 2,000 unemployed individuals a UBI amounting to $634 per month, and these individuals were no more likely to pursue employment than those who were on the current welfare system. Ian Goldin, Oxford University professor of globalization and development studies, wrote his objection to the idea of universal basic income in the Financial Times. He said that UBI would widen the gap between inequality and social security that was originally only directed at the right to receive, such as unemployment, disability, and etc. But it turned into the entire community, including billionaires. And in addition, Goldin also said that UBI would undermine the social cohesion. Therefore, the cost of UBI would be so huge. The cost of sufficient of UBI would be extremely high according to International Labour Office, which estimates average costs equivalent to 20 until 30% GDP in most countries. And there's also no evidence to suggest that a partial or conditional UBI scheme could do anything to mitigate, let alone reverse, a current trends towards worsening poverty, inequality. The last one is labor insecurity. Well, that just make UBI in Indonesia will not work out.
As a final word, let me summarize my point of view. So, I strongly believe that running universal basic income in Indonesia has become a great solution for all of the economic problems in Indonesia. It is very useful for those who want to create or run their business, and of course they can create a lot of new job vacancies for other people, and the economy will grow better. Thank you.
Now I'm going to talk about my conclusion. I strongly disagree with that statement. Running universal basic income in Indonesia is a really bad idea. Remember, in fact, Indonesia is a developing country and the most populous country in the world, number 4, which is make it really impossible in Indonesia to running UBI. UBI caused many problems, such as costs too much, many people might be lazy, and price inflation, which is really bad in the growth of the economy. And also there are so many huge and risky trade-offs to Indonesia if running UBI. By facing those problems, a universal basic income will not work out in Indonesia, and it's impossible to work out. Thank you.